I've got Charlotte Tilbury's Instant Look in a palette to share with you guys today, and it says on the box, 5-minute face on the go. I did go ahead and do a demo with I used all of the products in the palette, which would be all of the color that's on my face, including my eyes and like blush, highlight, bronzer. All of that is from this palette. And I pre-ordered mine off the Charlotte Tilbury website, and it was $75. The palette comes in standard Charlotte Tilbury packaging with a nice weighted plastic to it, and then inside you've got 2 larger pans, which would be your bronzer and your highlighter, and each one of those is 0.21 ounces a piece, which is a nice amount of product. When I first opened it up, I didn't expect that much product to be in there, but when I looked on the size of the pans, there's a nice amount of product in here. Now the 3 eyeshadows on the top and the 2 blushes are 0.07 ounces a piece, which is also a nice amount of product for how small this palette is. When I first saw pictures of this palette, I was like, wow, that's kind of light looking, you know, and even when I got it and opened it up, it also looks like pretty light, which for me, I've got fair skin. For me to think that, I was like, is it going to be too light, you know? But for my fair skin, it worked out perfectly. In terms of skin tones, I think that this would work on fair, light, possibly light medium skin tones. Medium tan, tan deep, I'm not sure how well like the bronzer and the darkest eye shade will show up. Now I did look on the box here, and the label on the bottom says this is called Natural Beauty, the palette is, and on the back it says Natural Beauty. So I'm thinking that she's going to come out with some other versions for deeper skin tones. I mean, she should, because this is pretty light. As far as the performance is concerned though, I was really happy with it. I was happy to brush on that highlighter and have it be nice enough for me. It's really glowy, like when I'm looking in the viewfinder, I can see the glow from that highlighter on my face. The bronzer is a nice tone for my skin tone. And then also the eyeshadows blended really well. I did use this number 5 cheek color to blend out the crease, and it worked out really nice. The eyeshadows and both the blushes did kind of kick up some product in the pan, but I didn't feel like they were messy all over the face. And the look overall is really soft and natural, and it was really easy to do. So for me and my skin tone, this did work out as an instant look in a palette, because I didn't bring any other like colored products on my face other than what is in this palette. And I was actually going to use this eye color in my brows as well, which I think might have worked, but I went against it and used the Anastasia taupe, but because I thought this might be just a little bit too warm, but I think it would have worked. This is what the box looks like that the palette comes in. If you guys want to check that out. And then here's the actual palette, and on the back you do have a diagram with what is embossed in each powder, because once you start to use them, it's going to wear away that embossing. So that is nice to have on the back. And then inside you've got a nice mirror that does prop itself up, and then here are your products. I'm going to go ahead and start off by swatching the bronzer and the illuminator, which the bronzer, I would call it like a satin finish. It blended really well. And then the highlighter has got a bit of a champagne or a yellow undertone to it, but it's light enough for my skin. And I wouldn't mind both these products in a full-size form. Now here's the original Film Start Bronze and Glow, and mostly out of this palette I typically just use the bronzer half, but because the highlight's a little on the deep side for me. So you can see the bronzer in the Film Start Bronze and Glow is a little bit deeper and a little bit warmer, where this one's a little bit more neutral, and then the highlighter is definitely a deeper golden, like peach color. And then next I'll swatch the 2 blush shades, which I used this guy through my crease, worked out great, and I used this one on the cheeks, and I really like this shade of pink. Wouldn't mind if that came in a full size. And then lastly, the 3 shadows. I used this a little bit on the inner corner and underneath the brow, and this one on the lid and this one through the crease, and then blended out with that blush shade. And this actually turned out a little bit deeper on me than it looks like in the pan, but I like the way that the look came out. Those are the 3 shadow shades. And then size-wise, for reference, this is one of the Tilbury quads, and then here's the larger palette, so you can see how big it is compared to a regular quad. Now, I really like the formulation of the products in this palette. I also like the way that the look came out. Again, a very natural type of a look, but I would like to see this for sure in a couple different variations, which I'm hoping she's going to do, because this does lean very light, and I'm pretty pale. And then hopefully in the swatches you guys were able to see whether or not it would work on your skin tone. But I hope that she comes out with some light, medium dark type of palettes like this, because I really like how it was curated. Everything worked, like all the color together worked really nicely on my face. Now if you're interested in seeing these products perform and how I got the look that's on my face, you can hang tight and we'll get into it right now. I've already got my BB cream, powder, and concealer on, and now I'm going to go in with this Hakuhodo brush, and I'm going to dip into the number 7 face highlight. And I'm going to start to highlight the parts of my face that I normally do, which would be the tops of the cheeks. Right there. Then I'm going to go in with a little Hakuhodo blush brush and dip into the shade number 4, which is called the Face Bronze, and start bronzing and slightly contouring my face. We'll be further buffing out the face. I'm going to go in with this little Hakuhodo brush and dip into number 6, which is the Cheek Pop shade. I'm going to use that guy for the blush. After I put on blush, I always like to go back in with my highlighter brush. I don't pick up any more product, but I like to buff out this top edge so that it's seamless. Then lastly, I'm going to go in with the Guerlain Meteorite Pearls, and the shade I use is number 2 Claire, and just a fluffy brush. This is a Hakuhodo J104, and this is what like brings everything together for me. And I do this regardless of like what I put on my face for the day, but and I just buff these all over the face. You can see like they'll take care of my crazy forehead. I mean, how it looked crazy at first. Now that we're all buffed out and pretty glowy, that highlighter's got a nice glow to it. Now I'm going to go ahead and prime my eyes. I'm going to use the NYX eyeshadow base in 01. I actually took a scoop of 03 and just mixed it in the pot with the white to kind of make a really light flesh shade. And I'm just going to put some of this on there. Buff it out with my finger. Now using a Hakuhodo S133 brush, I'm going to go into the number 2 Eye Enhance shade. And I'm going to put this guy on, let's see here, the first 2/3 of the lid, let's do. Let's just sweep it all over the lid. Then using the side of that same brush, I'm going to go into number 1 Eye Brighten. Just put a little bit right there. On a Hakuhodo GS9, I'm going to go into number 3, which is the Smoke shade. I'm going to use this one through the crease and kind of put it in that outer little part here. It is so windy out. It's absurd. Every day it's like hurricane wind out there. Little quick mention, not a drop of fallout, which is good. I'm going to take a Hakuhodo J5523 brush, and I'm actually going to go into number 5 Cheek Swish. And I'm going to start kind of, or I could use the bronze, but let's use the blush. I'm going to blend this guy out. That's fabulous. Then lastly, I'm going to go in with a fluffy brush and go into the Eye Brighten shade and put that one underneath the brow. Which, ooh, that's going on a little bit deeper than I thought it would. That's fine. I don't need a bright highlight anyway. There is the look from the palette done. I'm going to go ahead and finish up the rest of my eye makeup, and I'll be right back to put on some lips for you guys. For lips, I've got the Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheat in the shade Pink Venus. So I'm going to go ahead and line my lips with this guy. And then to fill them in, I've got Charlotte Tilbury's Coachella Coral Lipstick, which looks like that. So there's the overall finished look using Charlotte Tilbury's new Instant Look in a palette. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to wear sunscreen, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.